Hello there, and welcome back to me reading Reddit stories. I guess I'm sorry about yesterday. There was construction work going on, and it is still going on, or going on again. And but it's not as loud as it was yesterday. Yesterday they were quite obnoxious, and I was extremely tired. Um, again today, but not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday I kept falling asleep or well nodding off during work, so yeah, it wasn't the best of times. So anyway, if you were there on Tuesday, yes, during my Baldur's Gate 1 stream, I did say that I would need a break from that game, and that still stands. As it stands, I cannot play this game through with my current crew since my main character is way too squishy. So yeah, I'll be starting Esoteric Ebb next week. I just didn't want to start it today, which would then lead into the 2-day non-stream days that we normally have going on over the weekend. So yeah, I just said, you know what, let's scroll through Reddit, see if we can find anything funny or interesting to look at, and go from there. I have no idea, I'll be honest. If we can't find anything, I've been looking for interesting sounding stories, but they all turned out quite boring, to be absolutely honest. But hey, who cares, right? Um, right. I was thinking of maybe doing some reacts, but I have no idea what to react to in terms of videos. So yeah, Reddit it is. Let's explore, I guess, what my recommended has shown me here. Edited tonight there was something people will call small. I'll be honest, I am quite tempted, so I will look at that. Why is there random okra on that food? That is okra, right? From the weird. Eh, okay, we shall see. Ask a German. All right. When a German activity starts at 6 p.m., 1800, how early are you actually expected to be ready? Ready as in to go there or ready to be there? I joined. Yeah, okay. As a German, I will answer. Am I the asshole for not paying my stepsister, the debt I owe her? Ooh, that's probably juicy. Okay, my recommended are maybe giving. I called all my boyfriends, best friends, hidden roster. Welcome to the chat. What? Oh, he was multiple timing her. Okay. What do people think of Baldur's Gate 3 on the subreddit? Is this local artist using AI? They don't have a consistent style, and the text in the background is gibberish. This looks clearly like AI. The trashed panda. That has a very unseen slice. Yeah, that is so clearly AI. My goodness. It basically screams at you. I don't see the gibberish in the background, but maybe I'm just missing it. But Oh, that's so clearly I okay, what are the German movies that basically everyone in Germany has seen? Ooh. Those are movies that you do not want to necessarily want to see. I'll be honest, but I'm gonna be curious about the answers. Am I the asshole for asking my unemployed friend to leave my place after letting him stay for 3 months? Ooh. Ooh. Hated trope, fat person who isn't fat. Eh? I agree, but how is any of that? I'm sorry, but are they supposed to be fat? Is that the joke or what? Okay, $20 million, but you have to read every book in a bookstore. So you get $20 million, but there's one catch: you have to read every book in an average-sized Barnes and Noble. Don't know how big those are. The moment you accept the deal, you wake up inside the bookstore. Time is completely frozen, you don't age, you don't get sick, and you can't be physically harmed. Sounds easy, right? Not exactly. You have to read every book from cover to cover. No skimming, no speed reading, no skipping pages. If there are 100 copies of the same book, you only have to read it once. However, every different edition, sequel, spin off, and variation counts. Luckily, the store is fully stocked with food and has a Starbucks. That's easy. Like, okay, I I am a notorious hater of books I do not find interesting. So it might not be as easy as I claim it to be, but technically it is easy. And since time is frozen, you can take your sweet ass time to read any book. You can read it one page, one sentence at a time. Go to another book to um cleanse your yeah, seriously, sorry, but that setup, easy. Easy, I call it. Okay. What is an unsexy raw reality of a long-term marriage relationship that nobody warns you about? Don't know. Am I overreacting? Is that what the O means? Stands for ex, friends, girlfriend. Message me, hey, this is girlfriend, and I have seen your old messages with him. Honestly, we have been going through something like trust issues. I don't like that, I swear. It's not like that, okay? And I believe him that he only sees you as a friend, but it just makes me uncomfortable that he is still texting you and he already seen your private part and you guys are still talking up until now, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. Go, yeah, trust issues much? I will really appreciate it if you are not going to text him ever again. Thank you. That was like years ago, and I don't see him like that. He's a friend that I game with. I accepted and moved on and just happy for the friendship. All I want is for him to be happy, not trying to come between you all. But you don't mind me asking what old message is? I understand you're saying it happened years ago and that you've moved on. I'm not saying you still want him or that he still wants you. That's not even my point. My point is that you two have a history beyond just being friends, and now you both have partners. Not really sure about you. Personally, if I had that kind of history with someone and we were both in a relationship, I wouldn't feel the need to keep the connection going, especially if it was making their partner uncomfortable. You moving on doesn't erase what happened between you two in the past. I don't care if you guys never met, but the only thing I cared was you guys were in a relationship before and he's your ex. I'm not trying to argue with you or compete with you. Girl, girl, what? Just saying, I think there should be boundaries and respect for the relationship you're both in now. If you know he have a girlfriend. What bothers me is the fact that you both know there was a past between you. It doesn't matter to me if the relationship was only 4 months or whatever, or happened years ago. It still happened. There were feelings involved on your side. You dated, and private pictures were exchanged. That's not the same thing as two people who have always been completely platonic friends. Girl, look, for one, I didn't know he had a girl. He wouldn't talk to me about that. It's been 7 years. The last thing on my mind is him, and I dating and our history. He's not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it. You'll need to talk. It's 5 a.m. for me, and I cannot think right now. I'm tired and can't sleep. I hear you and I understand. I see him as a friend, but but if he knows, but if he wants to end the friendship, then let him do that himself. Let him tell me. I don't mean any harm, nor am I trying to come between y'all. If you knew he had a girl, then girl, you should have just kept your distance. And this isn't about just you. This is about the both of you. I'm holding him accountable too because he's in the one in a relationship. He's the one. Oops. With me, but you're a girl too, so I would expect you to understand where another girl's coming from. And if you really just want him to be happy, like you said, then you should also understand that he's in a relationship now and there need to be boundaries. Sometimes respecting someone's relationship means knowing when to step back, even when you personally don't think you're doing wrong. And again, I am not putting everything on you. He should have known to create that distance too. If the roles were reversed, maybe you'd be completely okay with it, but I wouldn't be. Just don't talk or invite him on the game anymore. I will appreciate that. Girl, this relationship will not last. How how controlling do you want to be? This girl said yes. My goodness. Oh, I forgot to put some music in the background. No. Not that last time worked in terms of you hearing anything, but hey. Spring vibes, sure. Give me. Hello? Okay. Hate you too. Do you want to work? Maybe? Hello? Kindly? There we go. Okay, where was I? Yeah. Okay, let's read until the end. Does he know you're on his phone? He's an adult. That's why I'm saying he can tell me himself. I'm not trying to argue or something. That's him having enough respect to me to want to stop being friends if that's what he wants. Yeah. I need to see the comments. For clarification, because I don't want people thinking I'm pursuing him or there's something between us. We dated back in the end 2019 till like a few months in 2020, so 7 years ago. We met playing GTA on PS4, and between 2020 to like now, most of our messages was just gaming and coming back and forth about getting on the game with communication, how friends do. But after he got into the relationship, I'm not sure when we stopped talking, with the occasion of just telling him happy birthday on his birthday. Recently, a few weeks ago, I asked him if he wanted to play ranked on Apex, and he agreed. Then played a little bit of Fortnite. Other than that, nothing. There have been no romance interactions or anything floaty whatsoever since we dated all throughout those years. I don't ask him about his relationships or who he's dating. I understand that she means what she means, but it's in the past for both of us. There are no lingering feelings. It did catch me off guard to receive this at like 3 a.m. Also, can't tell if she just took his phone while he was asleep or not. Yeah, controlling girlfriend for sure. His rakes of she stole his phone, he doesn't know. In no way, shape, or form will those texts still be there when he wakes up. Good thing recently deleted texts are kept for months, at least on iPhone. Those can be deleted early too, actually. Like you can just clear out your recent deleted folder, and considering she did this, it's not unreasonable to assume she knows how to do that too. But I don't know what messenger they used. If, for example, they used WhatsApp, it shows what message was deleted. That message was deleted. And it will keep showing that. So if an entire message, unless the chat history gets deleted, then yeah. But then he would be kind of weirded out that the entire chat message history was deleted. No? She stole his phone. He's already told her the same thing she's telling. And he already told her the same thing she's telling her. And he's already told her it's dumb and he's not editing the friendship. Ending. It was 7 years ago, for Christ's sake. If they wanted to be together, they would have gotten back together by now. Yeah. Yeah, the comments seem to all agree that this is damn bullshit. Oh yeah, I was right. Am I overreacting? Damn. But these text messages just scream. Controlling girlfriend, and that boyfriend should leave as soon as possible. And this girl should maybe warn him about it. Right. So finish it tonight over something people might call small or will call small. 2 years. I am 29. He's 34 for whatever that is worth. We go to the same place every other Friday. They brought his order out wrong. Chicken instead of beef, and he sent it back. Came out wrong the second time as well, which is genuinely annoying. I will give him that much. The second time he said back and said it to her slowly. Do you understand me? Or is there someone here who does? She said, sorry, sir. She said it 4 times while she was lifting the plate off the table. She was maybe 19. Her hands were going, and she carried it back to the kitchen out in front of her like it was going to bite her. I have watched him do this before. In June, he did it to a woman on a check-in desk over a bag that was 2 kilos over. In April, he did it on the phone to his own bank. I sat on the arm of the sofa and listened to the whole call. Every single time I told myself he was tired, or the day had been long, or that he's just a direct person. I did not say anything at the table. I ate my whole dinner. In the car, I told him I could not do this anymore, and he asked me what he had actually done wrong. He was not being sarcastic. He actually wanted me to sit there and give him the damn list. Okra, beef, and rice. Okay, it is okra. But these look more like peppers. But yeah, okra. And yeah, that is not small, girl. This shows his character. How you treat people that work for you in any shape or form. If it is service workers at restaurants or hotels or bank clerks, it doesn't matter. You can lose your patience with them, hey, sure, but you should apologize after. We all have those days where we just can't deal with the bullshit other people put us through. For sure. Don't get me wrong. But this? Nah, girl. Leave. And you already did, so good for you. Good for you. That's not small. Patience is attractive, and especially if he only does this with women. Yes, I think that's the biggest problem here. Degrading a teenage server isn't being direct, it's being a bully. You dodged a bullet. Agreed, yeah. Gentle reminder that you can end it for whatever reason you want. As to whether other people see it as rational or not, it's not their relationship, so it's none of their business. Personally, as someone who works and has worked in the service industry for just over a decade, I would absolutely end it over this as well. Yes, I think everybody would, though. No? To add, it's not even just about him making that comment, it's about the fact that he clearly views these people as less than and treats them as such. Yeah. I've worked in the service industry as well. I've worked at a salad bar. I've worked at my local Aldi as a cashier. I've seen it all. And people really think you're stupid just because you work there. It's like, girl, my workplace has no does not mean or does not show my intelligence. But hey, whatever. Okay, when a German activity starts at 1800 or 6 p.m., how early are you actually expected to be ready? I joined a small amateur choir in Germany. The first rehearsal was listed for 6 p.m., so I arrived at 17:56. By then, coats were hung, folders were opened, chairs had been adjusted, and everyone in hell for the first warm-up at 6. Nobody complained, but I felt as if I walked into a film after the opening scene. The next week, I arrived at 5:45. One member laughed and said I was becoming properly German. I can't tell whether that was approval, teasing, or both. Where I grew up, 6 p.m. means people begin entering the room around then. Is the normal German interpretation that the named time is when the activity itself begins, with the setup happening earlier? Does the invisible arrival margin change for a casual hobby, a private invitation, and an appointment? I'm not building a punctuality spreadsheet. I just want to stop entering rooms at the socially strangest minute possible. Okay. For stuff like that, where stuff still needs to happen, yeah, 15 minutes to maybe half an hour, depending on how high up the rank you are, is normal. Then for, what was it? Casual hobbies. If you're meeting with friends, I would say 5 minutes early is good. The 4 minutes early was fine, absolutely. I would always include like a short buffer zone, buffer time, basically. Just so everybody is able to arrive properly and have time to calm down before anything happens. But yeah, let's see. One left, we can pray both, but in a good way. Yeah. The teasing part, yeah, that was approval and teasing in one. I agree. From my environment, I would say nobody would be mad or disappointed if you arrived on time, but they would enjoy it in a setting like this if you arrived a bit early. This is very different though. If you're invited, for example, for dinner, usually it's better to be on time for dinner. I have been told that it is expected for you to show up 10 minutes later than you are invited, so the host or hostesses of the dinner can have some time for last touches and a drink. Although I have come to see it more and more often that guests show up more so on time than 10 minutes later. I've been told to be on time or 5 minutes early. Maybe it's regional or depends on the bubble. 5 Minuten vor der Zeit ist es Soldatenspünktlichkeit. 5 minutes before the time is the soldiers' punctuality, literally translated. But yeah, my mom says, is the German? Oh yeah, okay. Yep. And there's... But yeah, in this case, since it is an activity with others, it normally is expected to actually start. So setup happens earlier. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I'm German. Am I the asshole for not paying my stepsister's sister the debt I owe her? In quotations. Owing. Okay, half rent. Close in January rent. Why is there rent twice for 1 month? Portion of March synergy bill, portion of May, portion of July, portion of February water bill, portion of water. Okay. I just thought I'd remind you about the money you still owe me. I've put it all together and haven't included the internet and gas like I originally agreed. I understand it is a lot and I'm happy to have a chat about it, but now that you're moving out, I'd appreciate that this money is paid back now. Hey, as I'm sure you're aware, we won't be able to pay that anytime soon. We'll put money away for it when we can, but that simply isn't something we'll be able to pay back quickly. Saving simply wasn't possible. That's in the way. Do we get it back? Oh yeah, there we go. While living with you, so now that we'll be living somewhere cheaper with all household bills included in the rent, we'll try to get some money put away to put towards that, but I highly doubt it'll be anytime soon, or in large amounts due to us having personal bills and other expenses as well. You agreed to this arrangement, and rather than speaking to me about this, you give me just over a week's notice of you moving out. This will be paid or an agreement reached, otherwise I will take this further. If this won't happen, you need to be out of my house with keys returned before Wednesday. We have a quarter of what you make. We make a quarter of what you make in a month. When I agreed to that, you had pressured us into moving in with you for weeks so we could take care of your animals. We were deployed, and I had then gotten a job that paid over $1,000. There. I'm now on less than half that, and it simply isn't something we can financially do right now. I never said I wasn't willing to say that back. I just pay that back. I just said it's not something we can pay back quickly or in large amounts this time. Oof. Okay. Let's look at that again. If it was agreed, both parties agreed from the get-go that they would pay at least partial rent, then I'm sorry, but she absolutely has to pay. Or she had to pay before, and now she will have to pay back. The whole thing about not paying it in full immediately, of course, obviously, that's not gonna happen. The whole part of her pet sitting could also go towards money reduction of what is being owed, but yeah, this is if they agreed to pay a part of everything, then yeah, I'm sorry, but they should have paid that earlier and not let it pile up like that. Okay, let's see. Warning, this is a long one. Hey, to our text lovers, I've listened to the podcast for a while now, and I always love hearing and reading the comments. Whether good or bad, it's either amazing to hear the support or a good reality check, and I'm here for it. This brings me back to my current situation that I'm needing some help with. My 20 female stepsister, 29 female, has kicked me out after I told her I couldn't pay the money I owe her. Bit of backstory on this whole situation. My stepsister is in the Navy and has been living in the city for a few years. She's bought a house with the help of the Defense Force and has been pretty set up here. My mom and stepdad, who is her bio dad, originally lived on the other side of the country and moved over after needing a change from the small town life. I, however, stayed in my hometown and moved in with my now ex. I stayed in touch with FaceTime and calls as much as I could with my family after they moved, and ever call. There would be a comment sounding like something like, it would be better if you lived over here, or there's something like that in the city, but you'd have to move here. After almost a year, things went up in smokes with my ex, and I ended up living with my best friend for a few months. I decided the small town was a dead end, and there was only retail or hospitality work to pick from, and any other jobs involved extended trips away from home. The only way for me to get anywhere in life was if I made the move, so I did. Fast forward, I convinced my best friend to move over with me, said goodbye to the rest of my family, friends, and moved to the other side of the country. We lived with my mum and stepdad for a while, as they had offered for us to stay till we both got on our feet. My best friend got a job and found their own place, and eventually I found a decent paying job as well. Just before Christmas, my stepsister told me she was being deployed for 3 months and needed someone to take care of the house and her 3 pets, 1 dog, 2 cats. She said we could discuss rent and bills later. I agreed to move in, as I thought it would be a win-win situation. She gets her house looked after and I get a little bit of freedom again. But unfortunately, I lost my job a week before Christmas and told my sister I couldn't move in anymore because I wouldn't be able to pay rent. She said not to worry about the rent for that time and that I could move in because she'd need the help with the animals, and said I could pay her back later. I pushed back, saying I didn't want to be in debt to her and I couldn't afford it, especially since the job I was hoping to get would be an apprenticeship, which pay very little. However, she wouldn't budge, so reluctantly I agreed. From the moment I moved in, she was angry and acted like having me around was a burden. Then she got deployed. I took care of her animals for the full 3 months, made sure I let her know if they were acting off, and sent her photos as frequently as possible. And she got back, no thank you, no acknowledgement nor anything. And no, I wasn't getting paid to take care of them. This saved her around $7,500, if not more, if she were to keep them in a kennel. Before she left, I got another temporary job that paid over $1,000 a week. So we discussed rent. She wanted rent to be $400 a week and the bills split between us, which I agreed to. Okay. Now then, about 2 weeks after that, I got offered an apprenticeship. 1 second. $400 a week? A week? But 1,000 per week isn't bad. Technically. Technically. But okay. After that, I got offered an apprenticeship for a trade I'd been wanting for years, so I jumped on that chance even though my pay was cut by half. By over half. I was now only making $586 a week and paying $400 in rent and using the rest for fuel and groceries for myself as I wasn't allowed to eat any of her food. I let her know about the pay drop and she didn't care much, which was fine. Things stayed the same for a while, and one day she was speaking to her boyfriend and he told her how much I was making as he had been an apprentice as well once. She acted shocked and came home and said, "I thought you made at least half of what I did." While her boyfriend stood next to her. She makes around 8 to 9k a month. I told her I make just over 2k a month, and she said we can discuss rent and money and I'll temporarily lower it for a 6-month period. This conversation never happened. Once again, we fast forward a few months. A friend of mine had bought a house of their own and offered cheaper rent with bills included, so I wouldn't have to worry about a mountain of debt. I jumped at the chance and was very excited. However, due to what my sister did to her past housemates, I decided to wait till a week before I moved out to tell her I was leaving. Her past two housemates had given her months' notice of them moving, and she told them she wanted them out weeks before they had anywhere else to stay. So after speaking to my parents and having their support, I thought a week notice would prevent the same situation from happening with me. This was not the case. Once I told her I was moving out, she was really happy and got really excited. I thought this was a good sign. However, 2 days later, she sent me a list of things including bills and others with prices next to them totaling over $3,500. With the advice from my mum, I sent her a message saying I wouldn't be able to pay the debt back quickly or in large amounts, and she lost it. She told me I had to be out by the Wednesday if I wasn't willing to pay the debt. I sent a calm but factual message back and she didn't reply. I felt hurt by this and out of anger blocked her on all social media, but I left SMS and phone calls unblocked as we still needed a way to communicate. I moved out by that Wednesday and stayed with my mum until the house was ready for me to move in. I haven't heard from her since and I haven't reached out, but she did go out with my stepdad for lunch to discuss what happened, and for lack of better words, he basically told her to pull her head out of her ass and to give me some time as money is incredibly tight for me right now, and said this isn't what family does. He said that because they have paid around $10,000 for bills she was late on and other things she wanted, and they didn't want that money back. She said she was going to pay it back eventually, and he told her he didn't want it back. He just wanted her to see that when family is struggling, we help if we can, and that I was just asking for time, not for the debt to be cleared. I'm upset by the whole situation that this is what it has come to. My family is on my side, but I'm fighting with myself of whether I'm the dick or not. Any and all comments, advice, and criticism is welcome. I just need some outside perspective. Thank you in advance. So, okay, let me get this straight. You paid this rent. She paid the rent. Or not? Did she stop paying the rent? And this is just some sudden... Okay. Oof. Oof. Okay. Yeah, I was also very surprised by $500 for water bills. Need to see the bills first. $500 is insane. That should have any reason if they were filling an Olympic-sized swimming pool every week. I was just about to say, $1,000 bill is absolutely insane. We had a bush go through the water line right at the connection point. It was flooding water into the street constantly. Constant gallons of water going out, and it still was only a couple hundred. Well, we got it all sorted out later, but just to say, unless you were legitimately fitting swimming pools, there's no way. I wonder if she's on, like, scammer TikTok. 100% trying to fuck over her family. Yes, I'm sorry, but $400 a week for... Okay, American prices, I'm sorry. And we don't condone incest in this town. In my area, the water bill and sewer bill are on the same bill and charged every 2 months. This could be a similar situation where it is 3 months of both water and sewer. They have February, May, twice, so assuming one is actually March, June and July on the list too, assuming it is monthly. Also drops considerably, 500, 550, 350, 200 over that period, so something definitely off with all that. How is it less than half March versus July? Sorry, this is making me cackle. I would definitely... That's about the... Bush? Oh. Yes. I would definitely ask to see all the bills because some of these seem a lot higher than they should be. If your water bill is 500 plus a month, she needs to have someone come out and check for water leak. Yeah, this math ain't mathing. It seems like Sepsis is trying to make a buck. My eyebrows nearly hit my hairline. 400 a week for family. Plus bills, yeah, for home, plus you do the pet care. I don't see any deductions for that. OP, you should check your local rates on Rover and create an invoice. OP also needs to retroactively charge $100 per day for in-home pet sitting and house watching while stepsis is away. That was the agreement. Looks like the agreement was made, and then when it came to the other person to hold up the agreement now, they want it changed. I could be wrong, but I don't think the water is monthly. It looks like every 3 months from the date, so like 160 per month, which doesn't seem crazy. OP, does this include your family's utility use? But $400 a week is a hefty price to pay family, especially if OP was taking care of animals. OP, did that include your friends' rent too? Did you both have your own rooms? What is the average rent in your area? Seriously, OP. Add up what it would have cost her to board her dogs and tell her she owes you that. That can be $25 to $50 per day depending on location and animal. For all 3 animals, the places in our area is charged around $85 a day. Okay, so then she should subtract $85 a day for the animals for the time she was gone at least. Quick math, 7 days a week, 85 per day for 12 weeks, because you said 3 months, it's 7,140. She would have had to spend if you weren't there. Technically, she owes you, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, especially for in-home care, probably be more. Right, in-home care as opposed to kennel, where attention is split and animals are out of their element. That was agreed upon in the beginning, but looks like an agreement. Copy and pasting, much? Sounds about right. Email or go in and get a quote for the same amount of time that you've been watching them from like the day going forward to get an estimate that you can give her to offset the essential invoice that she sent you. Sometimes I wish my life had more dramatic situations like that so I could experience firsthand the joy of justice. But now, let's live in peace. Okay. Natural death of pet mentioned. Okay. I met him on Bumble. Fell so hard, so fast. He called me as the lightning in a bottle. He slow rolled introducing his friends, which I think is brilliant. But everything was so smooth. Every day it was dreams, shared Spotify playlists, texting and talking on the phone. I met him on Bumble, talking on her phone. I laughed too hard at Ida, which became a running joke in and of itself. He liked my parenting style. After a couple months, wanted to meet my kids. This is all over the place, I'm sorry, but nah. Now, this one, I'm interested in the comments. I'm trying to get... Okay, what are the German movies that basically everyone in Germany has seen? I'm trying to get a little deeper into German's culture, and I realized I know almost nothing about German movies. I'm not necessarily looking for the objectively best German films, or award-winning cinema. I'm more curious about the movies that are part of the cultural vocabulary here. The classics, cult movies, comedies people still quote, films we grew up watching, or comedies people still watch. Feuer Salamander macht Beine auseinander, macht Beine wieder zu und raus bist du. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not even a good comedy film. No? Films we grew up watching, or the ones where Germans are surprised if you say you've never seen them. Basically, if someone moved... Germans, you're surprised if you've never seen it. If you say you have never seen it. Dinner for One is a classic German tradition to watch on Sylvester, New Year's. It will basically play on loop on different TV senders, TV stations. So you will have enough time to watch that stupid skit. And it's a British skit that will be actually played in its British original, English original. Not translated, not even with subtitles, nothing. People love it. People love it. I watched it for the first time last year. And I do not regret watching it, but I do not understand the hype about it. It is basically the story of two alcoholics that fall in love, or that are in love but never really talked about it. It's a butler and his lady, and the lady invites people to her party, but nobody shows up. So the butler drinks for all these guests, and at the end of the day he, of course, is absolutely drunk, and it ends with them going to bed together. That is the whole story of Dinner for One. Okay, basically, if someone moved to Germany and wanted a German movie watch list to understand the culture a little better, what would you put on? Would love to know your must-watch picks, and especially why you think they belong on the list. I did not see that. Dinner for One, yeah. Never knew it was a German production, that's hilarious. It wasn't written for a German audience, just widely popular here. King Charles even referenced it in a speech in Germany as an example of a British cultural export that had found new life in Germany. I know it's in English and by an English comedian, but according to Wikipedia, it was produced/recorded in Hamburg by the NDR. Hence my surprise. I heard it was not very successful in the UK and most people there don't know about it. But in Germany, it has then seen as the example for British humour. Not so much anymore today, but people still like it. It was written for German audiences. It originally was a theatre play in England during the 40s and 50s, but TV version was made in Germany for Germans. Nobody in Britain would have heard of it, as it wasn't televised there. Ah yeah, show this money too. The shoe this of the money too. So yeah, those are all quotes of from that movie. I'm not gonna go ahead and translate all of them, but those are not gonna make a whole lot of sense either. Loyal, yeah. True. Loriot is a must if you want to understand German culture. There are several movies already mentioned, but Loriot was so good at showing German habits. It's more than mere entertainment, it's the unofficial neutralization test. If you love at this, you'll most likely feel like right at home from the get-go. If you don't get it at all, you will probably wonder about the strange planet you've landed on. Let's start with Papa Ante Portas. It doesn't get any more German than that. Yeah. Loriot is big, and I'm just not. I chuckle at some of the jokes, but it's not for me. One of my friends loves it. Vanna. Yeah. But Spencer and Terrence Hill movies. Yes, technically they aren't German, but German dubbing special in these movies and most people know them. Ah, right, yeah, the German dubbing of the Spencer and Terrence Hill movies. True. Oh no, Otto. No. Oh, those all hurt. Those all hurt. Please, no. Oh. Okay. My husband tricked me into allowing him to spend our money on something we didn't need. Okay. Name that dragon. With AI generated dragons for the baby shower game. I know the half of the name of the German version of that. Blauer, der weiße Drache mit eiskaltem Blick. Blue-eyed white dragon with the ice cold look, basically. I think is the... Okay, the Mulan dragon that I hate. Toothless. Then the dragon from die unendliche Geschichte. What's the English name for that? Okay, I don't know, don't care. Ausländer on the train. Yep, I'm the Ausländer. We've traveled to Germany a half dozen times. Ausländer means aliens, so people not from Germany. And I'm very familiar with the culture, social norms, and how to travel efficiently. This last week we had a DB train, a Deutsche Bahn, so our public train, privatized but not actually service from München to Nuremberg, which was maybe an hour and 15-minute ride. Our family has 5 people, so my wife and kids sat at one of the 4 chair tables and sat across the aisle. Second class. About 10 minutes left in the trip. Come on in. A group of middle-aged German women came up and demanded our seats. They had another older man with long hair with them. He was not part of the group and he looked like Deutsches Jimmy Buffett. He was randomly herding people around the cars to their proper seats. Naturally, he helped them demand our seats from us. I kindly explained that we had tickets. This is my first time on DB. They still demanded our seats and Fabio was all too happy to run and get the conductor. He comes back and starts whining to the conductor about diese Ausländer and how all the problems are these nasty Ausländer who steals seats from old ladies on the train. That's when I spoke up. Ja, wir sind Ausländer, wir haben Tickets und Sitzplatzreservierung. Ich habe auch die Reservierung gekauft, aber wir haben diesen älteren Damen freundlich unsere Plätze überlassen, wo uns in Amerika beigebracht wurde, andere zu respektieren. Yes, we are foreigners, I have tickets and reserved these seats. I also bought the seat reservation, but we have kindly left our seats to these older ladies because in America they have taught us to respect others. Oof. Thanks. None of them figured I spoke German. Well, high school level German maybe. I'm not fluent, but I know enough. The conductor just laughed at the man. We were right. They were our seats and our reservation. Fabio caused some big ruckus on the train, so he could justify his negative perception of foreigners. At this point, we were 5 minutes from the Nuremberg station. Who really cares? I looked at the ladies and wished them a schönes Tag. Schönen Tag, darling. Schönen. And a good day. Beautiful day. And they agreed. The whole situation was sehr traurig. Very sad. My wife and kids are still laughing about it. Yes, yeah. It's so sad. It is so sad to see the growing mistrust and negative sentiment against foreigners here. I don't like it. Sadly, it cannot be changed in the current climate. It would help, you know, if media would stop focusing every time something happens and it's a foreigner that did it, or somebody that is not presenting white, so not presenting German, I guess. It would help. It will help a whole bunch. But sadly, those news stories click fast as well. Like, we had a few terrorist attacks, if you want to call them that. A few of them were done by native German citizens. Like one that happened in one of the bigger cities just around the corner. That dude was in the news for one day. When they figured out he was German, nobody cared anymore. A few days prior, an Afghan, I believe, killed one person, and that was really talked about for weeks. Like, okay, can we just agree that the problem is men and healthcare for men, instead of being like, yeah, it's the foreigners. Always the foreigners. It's not. It's men most of the time. I'm sorry, guys. It's so frustrating. And instead of getting people the help they need, the current government is cutting down on the funding and even more on the system around healthcare. It's so frustrating. Why did I have to be born into this world at this time? Why couldn't I have been a baby boomer? At least I would have lived most of my life already. Yeah, I would have experienced the fall of the Berlin Wall. I would have been there for the fall of the Twin Towers. Well, okay, I was there during the fall of the Twin Towers. I was just so young, I can't remember. I was 6. I can kinda remember. I remember that I was with my grandma on that day because my parents were out. And my grandma was over here watching us. But yeah. And what else? The Cold War, sure. There would have been a few crises, but since social media is just elevating everything and multiplying everything, it's just it makes everything multiple times worse than it could have been. Take the Ozempic craze, or the need for plastic surgery, because people have lost the eye to see real people. If you just spend your days on Instagram and see all these people with filters on their faces, and then are like, oh no, I don't look like that when I look in the mirror, and it's like, yeah, of course you don't look like that. They don't look like that either. Look at them when they don't have filters on, and you will see they have blemishes as well. They might have some pimples. It might even start to wrinkle, I don't know. And especially with Botox and fillers, when everything just moves around, and it looks so unnatural. And people want that. I don't understand. And I know I'm ranting about random bullshit, but sorry, I needed to rant, I guess. I just needed to rant a bit. Yes, I need to bother my Discord again. That's normally where I rant, I'm sorry. But yeah. This world could be such a beautiful place if only people wouldn't ruin it with the conservative and right-wing rhetoric. Oh, I need to close my window real quick. Oh, sorry. But yeah, if you think about it, the only people constantly being like, oh, this world sucks, there's all just bad things happening, and those on the right. Like, yes, the left complains as well, but we critique the system we live under, not the world we live in. And it is so frustrating to me that people fall for that bullshit. Okay, let's see comments. Someone who is German but doesn't look German, I feel you, man, but please don't be so nice. Trust me, those hags can take it. Be just as cold as they are. They don't deserve your kindness. Older Germans can be some of the most miserable people out there. Yes. Oh my god, yes, my father is one of them. They're either the most miserable or the kindest, sweetest people who just want someone to talk to. So true. We have a few old people in our building. One old lady acts like she worked for some intelligence agency and literally goes through people's trash to make sure they are sorting correctly. Another old lady is the sweetest person ever. Always a smile on her face, loves to bring treats to my dog, and just talking to her brightens up my day. Absolutely. There's no middle ground, thankfully. Those assholes usually are the bottom 10%. But the nice ones are the 90% of the group. The further you get east, the asshole percentage is probably some inheritance of the GDR, which taught them to be miserable even as kids. You're a Westerner, aren't you? It really depends. It's not where in Germany you are. This is also, well, this is very German specific since we have the east-west divide, which is still a thing right now. I don't think in, well, okay, with coming generations it's gonna be bigger again because of social media, but my current generation definitely doesn't think so much in the east-west divide. East Germans are as much Germans as West Germans are, but since the living experience is so different for them, it definitely can be quite disheartening for Easterners. And I feel them. I know a few East Germans that fled right after the wall fell to the west. So yeah, they're thriving over here and they do not want to go back. But most of them were women, and now the East is quite struggling to keep their women. And with the AfD bound to win, can I get that in German? In English. Give me a second. Help me. Can I get them? Can I switch that? Oh, it doesn't matter, I can explain. Okay, so as you can see, we're fucked. Okay, let me explain. The AfD, well, Saxony-Anhalt. That's the English name, right? Sachsen-Anhalt is the German original. It is one of Germany's states, and they are voting for their local parliament. And the AfD is a far-right party, which is also... Okay, they're showing it with these error keys, apparently. They're also... in Saxony-Anhalt, specifically, they are the what's the English word for that? God damn it. But yeah, it is clear that they are far right and far right extremists over there. But they're still allowed to be currently on the election because none of our current government is ready to call into question. If not, maybe we should start the process to get rid of this party. Germany has a specific clause thanks to the whole Nazi regime. God, be so much easier if I could say that in German now. Yeah. Okay, proceeding for the prohibition of a political party. That is written in the constitution that if there is a party that is openly against our constitution, there's a possibility to get them prohibited. But the CDU is still claiming they want to beat them with their own weapons, so they're basically moving further and further to the right, following their rhetoric, which is proven, sadly, to not work because, sorry darlings, you will always vote for the original. And the CDU is sadly the party that ruled pretty much through from the get-go, from the creation of Germany as it is today to today. There were only 2 election periods, or 3 I believe, where they were not in power. So them claiming that they can beat a right-wing party, yeah, I'm sorry, but no. Then, yeah, the thing here is we have a limit of 5%. You have to reach 5% of the vote total to be part of the parliament. So if the Green Party, Die Grünen, it doesn't reach that, the AfD is pretty much slated to be the ruling party in Saxony-Anhalt. So yeah, everybody is basically talking about this election, and there's 2 other ones where it doesn't look all that much better. It's so sad. It's so sad. At least the BSV. Bündnis Sarah Wagenknecht. Oh no, they are now calling themselves something else. What's the new name? New name? Ah ja. Bündnis Soziale Gerechtigkeit und wirtschaftliche Vernunft. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. They can crash and burn for all I care, and they better do so. They will help these guys to be in power, no matter what. So yeah, crash and burn, please. Yeah. Do I have anything else? I need positivity in my life. Is there a subreddit for positivity? Positivity. Positive energy. That sounds like a good idea. Come on. Positive energy will attract a lot of negative people. No. Maybe anybody. No offense, but does anyone here have any positive experience to share at all? Yeah, what is CPTSD? Positivity. How do some people seem happy and positive all the time? Advice. Oh, darling, you are never happy and positive all the time. That's a facade. But okay, we have a subreddit called Positivity. I've cooked for myself for a week. Okay, so people are celebrating small victories here. Right, doing the right thing. 8 months ago? I'm 30, I have a family and kids, and I'm getting closer to graduating. Congrats. Sorry, I do not speak Spanish. It's excited about new clothes. If you're a friend facing the downfall and depressed, always be with them in their harder times, because they need that time. And any person that be with them, so he'll... Punctuation? Anything? That's hard to read. I'm sorry. I don't have cancer. Great. Hugs and kisses. Thanks. At day 12 of being... thine? Positive, Jester? What? Ah, thine. Okay, that is something you need to do daily or as effective positive. Okay. People are maybe a bit too positive on that. I'm close to getting my associate's degree. Eat clean, stay healthy, work hard. Isn't this 3 rule can change your life? Cringe. Being cringe is better than being cruel. True. Saving and as much as possible be a win. Trying to notice the little good things today. Give me your little good things. Today I decided to pay a little more attention to the small things that make an ordinary day nicer. A good cup of coffee, someone being unexpectedly kind, a song I love coming on at the right moment, even just having a few quiet minutes to myself. None of these things are huge, but I realize a day doesn't need something extraordinary to happen for parts of it to be genuinely good. Just want to share that thought here. Let's see, did anything good happen today? No. Nothing really bad happened either, but it was just an ordinary day. Just the norm. I love my dad more than anything. Nah, can't feel you on that one. Oh, I stopped wanting things and ended up getting so much more. Today is my birthday and can use some positivity. Ooh. Maybe we have some positivity in the comments. Hey guys, today is my birthday, but my mind has been somewhat of a mess with everything that has happened during the summer and with the next semester of college starting soon. I could really use some positivity right now. Please and thank you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a good time on your special day. It will be okay. You'll figure it out. Some of these things take time to process and self-reflect. Just keep trying to do your best and push forward. I don't know if this will help, but I really like this video. Ooh, do I risk it? Is this actually... Okay, it's a YouTube. Is it a rickroll? The illusion of money, time, and ego. And what? After school.
Well, I have a sort of suggestion. And that is this. That before we decide either to save the planet or to destroy it, we pause for a moment of silence. I don't mean that kind of grim silence which one observes when somebody says, such and such a famous person has just died, and we'll observe a moment of silence in his honor. And everybody frowns and thinks very serious thoughts. That's not silence at all. I mean real silence, in which we stop thinking and experience reality as reality is. Because after all, if I talk all the time,
I cannot deal with that. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. It just... No, not. I love your username. Hardcore hold. Ah, okay. Another year closer to Shady Pines. Happy birthday. I'm gonna have to borrow this. Happy birthday. I turned 44 today. Instead of cake, I made myself a birthday lasagna. True. Congratulations. Okay, everybody's just congratulating. Cute kitten. Why? The world is a realistic place again. A realistic place. Okay, tell me. What do you mean? The perception of the world has changed significantly. I used to be negative and anxious about everything I did or thought. Like I'd see an old man walking down the street and project shit like, oh, he's probably so alone and depressed, he's probably never going to enjoy his retirement. My brain was essentially a 24/7 news cycle of sad and soul-sucking shit. I could never be present. Breaking news! You're not doing enough. You're not moving fast enough. He doesn't love you anymore. I could never see a realistic scenario with anything. But now I can. I can trust that I will now know what to do if bad things happen. But I don't need to act like it's going to happen right now. My cats won't starve to death if I don't feed them at 6:30 p.m. My boyfriend isn't going to blow up at me if I show up a little late to his house. I'm not going to suffer with zombie scratching for months again because I had one bad night's sleep. The world is a safe place and it's not going to get me. I can think realistically. You know, seeing an old guy walking over down the street and thinking he's probably lonely isn't actually all that non-realistic. Realistically, since he is the one that is there alone, his wife probably died, which is not necessarily the case. But yeah, either his wife died or he never had one. Or husband, but less likely. And so yeah, the likelihood of old men having been estranged with their kids and rest of the family is quite high, statistically speaking. But okay. The rest, yeah, sounds sounds quite not realistic. Just want to say thank you. Okay, little kid made my day. Ooh. Okay, tell me. I was driving and came to an intersection with a lady crossing with a stroller and maybe a 6-year-old. The little boys looked stressed that I wasn't going to stop, so I waved to him to let him know that I saw him. He waved back very enthusiastically, and then, in the cutest little kid way, he bowed down, brought his hand up to his face and blew me a kiss while he was walking. Of course I sent one back. After a really tough week, this made my day. That's cute. That's cute. Oh, I don't know. Weight loss stories always just frustrate me. I went through so many diets. And diets are not even that good to you, for you anyway, because your body will remember or think that you're currently in a starvation period. Well, it is basically starving. So as soon as you go back to normal eating, everything will bounce back harder than ever. The yo-yo effect is there for a reason. Because your body is like, oh, we finally get nutrients again. Let's suck them all out. So it gets even better at saving nutrients. Great. My pet rock is bringing me so much joy. Okay, that sounds like a joke. Post. What's a random thing that always makes you happy? Be happy, spread happiness. Okay. Some of these sound more like some weird gurus that just want you to join their cults. Mom ruined my last few hours with husband in person. You mean your husband died? What? dinner is pan-fried Norwegian fish balls with baked beans. That sounds like a nasty combination, but you go, girl. Okay. The story requires context that would be way too long to share here. Long story short, she was not a good mom, and we haven't spoken about 4 years. My brother hasn't spoken to her either, and she blames me for that. We are both adults, and my brother has his own issues with her, but her treatment of me seemed to be the final straw for him. On to more recent events. Me and my husband are long distance. She has never met him, but she knows I'm married. Somehow she knew the date I was supposed to go home. I got an email from her 3 hours before my flight. She's blocked everywhere else. I have no idea how she knew, but this is typical of her. The last phone call I had with her was right after my cat died. She accused me of having a thing for my stepdad's. Oh, okay. And trying to steal him. He's a cheater. She's right about that. She has caught him before, but why would I want someone view like that? Okay. Why would I want someone that I view as a dad? Like a dad. I guess as at the very least that explains why he stopped talking to me. Anyway, her email was something along the lines of, "Hi, how are you guys doing? Are you in the United States or Norway now? Love, Mom." I know it's stupid, but I got so angry. Why did my last few hours with him have to be ruined by an email that doesn't even sound bad? I've never been able to handle people that just pretend everything is fine when it isn't. I guess it just goes to show she doesn't really know me. She never did. I wrote up a response while on my flight, basically saying she has given up the right to know how we are doing a long time ago and to leave me alone. Now I'm wondering if it's even worth responding at all. I'm free of her bullshit, but I'm really sick of her popping back up at random or not so random times. TLDR, my abusive mother keeps contacting me at the worst times, and I'm sick. Okay, go. You need therapy. Stats. And just block her on everything. If you don't want her to contact you, then block her on everything. But getting triggered by a message like this and connecting that to you wasting your time, basically being angry about her message while you're with your husband that you are long distance with, sounds like a strange relationship, but okay. Then yeah, I'm sorry, but girl, you are hung up over this whole mum situation. You need therapy. I completely understand. My mum has her own issues, and whilst it's nowhere near your mum, we have good contact. I can sometimes get so angry over seemingly nothing because of her previous pattern of behavior. Completely understandable. However, the anger is only hurting you. Responding to her, in my opinion, will just continue that feeling. You don't owe her a response. You can be no contact. Block that email maybe and move on is my advice. Don't let it take up any more of your life, time or joy than any absolutely unavoidable. When I went no contact with my family, I had to let go of the urge to respond to their attempts of contact. The string that was still so tightly wound around the thought of I have to / need to explain why this is wrong to them. Maybe then they'll finally get it up to be kept. Either they won't, or they already do and don't care, so I simply let them waste their time on attempts while I watch bad TV and read whatever book happens to catch my fancy. No need to play the games of a circus you're trying to run away from. How long did you put up with everything before you no contact? I feel so honey-potted that I can go no contact, but every day I think about them. I'm way too old to be like this. You're not way too old. You're never too old to break the cycle that you were placed into. I started pulling away around 25 and would go back and forth a lot. Didn't manage to fully break contact for about 3 years because I didn't really let others in to help. Finally talked to my therapist after my mom nonchalantly commented on my miscarriage at a family reunion after I begged her to stop bringing them up. Holy! First 6 months was the hardest. I'd reach for my phone to tell them something, just to remember that last sting, and be sent into anger again, but as I journaled, I realized I was doing better without trying to mend something I never broke. I had to address my experiences and the emotions that they caused, not beg my family to finally do better when they proved that they wouldn't. Yeah. What's with this AI channel? A friend of mine commissioned someone to make a profile photo of his YouTube channel. Is this AI? It has the familiar yellow filter, especially in the second pic. It very much feels like AI, yes. Hi, Taki. How you doing? Even the thingy here is not consistent. The wand. Yeah. But damn. That you now have to worry about commissions being just AI generated, and then they won hundreds of euros for basically nothing. Yeah. I don't even need to look at the comments. This is clearly AI. Stack Overflow was the first thing AI killed. Does anyone still use it? Living alone. I meant acting entitled to my space. Okay. Yeah, the downflow was already happening. It just really went downhill from there. Okay. Advice needed. Men acting entitled to my space. Taki, are you taking over my space? How dare you? Reposting because I forgot my dinner photo, lol. You either got no answer or got an answer. Like, if you have to ask a question this simple to answer, you shouldn't be programming. Okay, never been there, but sounds like a lovely place. For sure. Dinner is rice, sliced turkey sausage, and squash. While watching the OC. Okay, has anyone else who lives alone? With guys feeling entitled to your space. I, 24 female, have lived on my own for a year now. This has happened with several guys I've dated since then. Once I mentioned I live alone, it's suddenly, why don't you cook for me sometime? Or other subtle ways of inviting them over. But the guy I'm seeing now, 27, male for about 6 months, is the worst case. I've let him get way too comfortable here. We live 30-ish minutes apart and he lives with his parents, plus adult brothers, so we do mostly hang out at my apartment/my city. When we started dating, he was in between jobs, which didn't bother me since he still took me out. He got a job a few months in, so I do not see that as an issue. So that is not an issue, well. Rapid comment just comes superiority fetish. However, during that time he did have a lot of free time. Early on, some things stood out. One time he wanted to sleep over on a Friday and bring his Xbox, knowing I had a Saturday shift at my part-time job. His plan was he'd just stay at my spot and game all day while I was at work. When I'd come home to him, I told him it was crazy for even suggesting. I asked if his past girlfriends had been okay with stuff like that and made it clear I'm not that type of person. He hasn't suggested anything like it since, but looking back, it's part of a pattern. Also, fairly early on, I let him drive my car once. It's a nicher car, and I drove his once too. Neither of us likes other people driving our cars, But now, even though I rarely drive when we're together, he asks and asks to drive mine every single time. I say no, but I don't get why that became a thing from one favor. Another early moment, we were about to go out and he was at my place fixing his hair. Didn't ask where I kept combs or products. He just opened my cabinets and drawers and found what he needed. Normally, you'd ask first. Early on, after our first couple of sleepovers, he started assuming every hangout meant a sleepover. This was during the time he didn't have a job, so he'd sleep over and then just be laid up on my couch or in my bed until afternoon while I was in my office working my full-time job. You have a full-time job and a part-time job. Damn, girl. It was so irritating. I eventually put my foot down and told him he needed to leave earlier. He was little salty about it, but I don't understand why he'd get the notion that it's okay to just lounge around someone else's place all day. Looking back, I realized, okay, somebody's just having the ick with their boyfriend. I need stronger boundaries and to be more vocal about what bothers me in that moment, instead of just sitting there silently irritated while it's happening. I don't like constant sleepovers because I love my alone time, and having to perform for someone the next day too. Have to figure out breakfast and or lunch for the both of us the next day multiple times a week is a lot. I also noticed him changing my AC settings once without asking, which I'd never do in someone else's home regardless of relationship status. I told him immediately not to touch it again, and he hasn't since. Most recently, we were joking about construction next door, shaking my walls, about how they'd owe me money if it caused damage. I joked something along the lines of I'm gonna march down there and tell them they have to renew our lease. Our? I didn't call it out since it was a joke, but now I'm wondering, am I overthinking it, or does that something about how he sees my place as our place? To be fair, he's sweet. He's always buying me flowers, fixing things when I have an issue. He mounted it in my TV, bought me my new windshield wipers, and he never lets me split the check. I don't want this to make him sound bad, but the pattern is still there. I'm curious if this is a common dynamic for people who live alone and date people who don't, or didn't at the time, or if I'm overthinking normal relationship comfort levels. And I just want to add that we've only been official for 1 month. Almost all of these instances occurred when we were not officially together. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if these all occurred while they were not officially together, then okay, I can understand her being irritated about everything, but girl, maybe talk to him? It feels really like she is not ready to be in that relationship, to give up her personal time to be with him. And yeah, I understand it's uncomfortable to invite somebody, especially since it's probably her first time living alone. And when you experience that freedom, it is so nice. I absolutely understand not wanting to share it unnecessarily, but her immediately turning it on men in general? Like, okay, the comment about, can you cook me something, whatever, why don't you cook for me sometimes? Yeah. But I feel like that's not necessarily them inviting themselves over. That can also be like, yo, maybe we can hang out. Not necessarily at your place. Yeah, it's a weird one. Okay. Needs a place of his own before you ever move in together, and I would stand my ground on that one, even though it is more expensive. You need more time dating, you need time to establish more boundaries. If you don't having a home together, then perhaps a family will be harder. It does not sound like she really wants to be in a relationship with him. Yeah, as I said before, talk to the guy. Talk to the guy, it's not that hard. Communication. Why is that basically in all the things you read on here, it's like, why don't you guys just talk with each other? Earlier there was a whole thing. It was a bit more complicated, but I believe a sister moving in with her stepsister, and then she wanted to move out, and suddenly the stepsister was like, "Yeah, well, here's the bills from an entire year, basically. You gotta pay up." And apparently they agreed to her paying rent. And she did do that, but I don't know. It was strange. It was very convoluted. True. Well, normal relationships tend to be quite boring. That's why they normally are shown in the second couple, and the main couple is the drama couple. But yeah, it's sad. Seeing a harmonious couple that also has minor differences, minor miscommunications that they fix is also nice. But what was it? Oh yeah, I recently watched a video about the whole love triangle thing, and I do have to agree, I am so sick of it. That you have mostly a girl and two guys fighting over her, and you pretty much directly know it's the bad guy that's gonna get her. Oh, bad guy. And the nice guy will be left in the dust. Meanwhile, the entire audience already has second male syndrome, because I'm sorry, but the dude that the girl will end up with, in some of the K-dramas I watched, basically abused her, sometimes raped her, locked her up in something, and she still goes with that guy. It's like, girl, nah. And then you have the second lead, who's super nice, always there to comfort her after, oh my god, yes. After her guy just, I don't know, kissed her without her consent and stuff like that. Like, girl, open your eyes. Alright, Taki, see you. Oh. Okay, even though it is more expensive, you need more time dating, and you need time to establish more boundaries. If you don't, having a home together, blah, 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 and see if you can learn more about his former relationships. How did those go and how did they end? I wish you wisdom. This, do not move in with a man who has never lived on his own. He's just looking for a new mummy. You. Homosexual alert. God, he hasn't left his parents because they take care of him, and now that he's older, he's looking for a girl to take care of him. He wouldn't be worth my time, to be honest. If he doesn't have his shit together at his grown age, he doesn't need a partner. Well, it depends. Guys, there is a possibility that because he's still only working part-time and busy with university/college or whatever, yes, you can afford your own place for sure, but it is easier to live with your parents, especially if your college/uni is close by. But yeah, I understand. except in some cultures it's considered like really strange to move out before you're settling down / getting married. Some parents would basically disown their kid for moving out early, so he might just be in that boat and have fat savings account from not paying rent the last 9 years. It is still not a good sign of being independent regardless, but not automatic loser status. He looks so young. He looks like he's the same age as her. Like, what the hell, girl? This Japanese traveler took a crude oil bath in Azerbaijan. Okay. This is AI. This is AI. Why twice the same? What does the comment say? Aside from being the general AI style, AI loves underlining things and it loves little lines coming off the art. If those lines coming off the head would be coming out the megaphone if an actual artist made it. True. Unless that's her spider senses tingling. Also true. They love shoving text into every possible space too, and that paint smear so much. Like 90% of AI flies I've had the pleasure to see this summer have it. Blocked it immediately as AI, a lot of noise in the art and the fonts do not commit to the style they're going for. They're totally inconsistent. Look at the love win sign. This strike throughs and the letters. Sorry. Are completely inconsistent with some of the letters. Look like they've been caught in the end stage of mitosis. The R is in first, looks like it's trying to break free from the I. It's not 100%. It is definitely not. So, how am I gonna buy it everywhere? Ah, okay. You move to the Schengen area on the French side. You probably can get sauerkraut in France, but you'll go over to Germany and get your sauerkraut. But yeah, Aldi has some. I'm not sure about Lidl, but most likely. What am I doing wrong? Okay, what do we have here? You both waved hello to each other. Hi, what's up? Just getting ready for brunch, lol. What about you? What's the highlight of your year so far? I don't know, man. I don't have one. What? How come? Well, what did you do for the summer? I just farted around. Damn stinky. I knew you had a goofy side. It's a common expression. Really? I've never heard it before. What do you do for work? Nothing? Okay. Says you like crafts on your... Oh, is that Tinder or something? Yeah. I just pressed whatever to skip the page. Bruh, well, tell me more about yourself then. Too vague. Do you like deep talks? Nope. Brighten Shelby's day by selecting a few compliments to send. What do you like then? Okay, one side is trying too hard and the other is just not interested. In terms of what? Like, what do you do in your spare time? Do you do art, work out, travel? I don't know where all dudes got the idea that quizzing people on their interest leads to fun convos on a dating app. All dudes are doing that, so it just becomes a boring, repetitive series of questions. And don't do the, well, what do you want to talk about? Okay, how about you ask some questions, think? I mean, it's one way of getting to know people, much as I ask it. I hate asking it, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think she probably just swiped right on accident and now has nothing better to do. I'm more of an in person. Like, if you yap, I'll yap back, even if it's the most random topic. Now, if you're taking that as a cue to ask for an in-person meeting, I'm not going with that. Just think of the dynamic on a dating app. You're not doing that. I know, like, if I want to ask to meet you, I would, but not right now as we just started talking. I can't see this conversation becoming enjoyable for me. Me either. Just got to be honest, I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. Yes, you are. Hey, okay, what do we have? What do we have? But okay, I feel like he started this strong. This high with a smiley would have freaked me the fuck out. I'm gonna be honest. That would have probably also soured my mood, but I would have at least tried. Hi, Erica. How you doing? Oof. Okay, comments. What do you see? What do you see? No, you're not. This person is adult. Yes, or a child of Captain Holt. Default. Okay. Twitter is doing its thing. Love the use of absolutely no contraction. Like, he's overly quirky. The biggest issue I see that he kept trying to ram his head through the brick wall. Yeah. Yeah. I thought, since you made it, let's just use it. But then again, on any dating app, I feel like if you don't try, you will not succeed. And I guess he just wants to get anything started. But yeah, with these very short answers, he could have definitely already guessed that this is not gonna go anywhere. Especially look at these times between answers. 10 a.m. Then the next answer is there on 1 p.m. Okay, half an hour later he answers. Almost 2 hours later she answers. 1.5 he answers. I know, half an hour. Roughly. Then he tries again, half an hour later. She answers an hour later. There was like no interest. Yeah, well, true. It's better for everybody involved, probably. Since I never was on a dating app, I will never know the joys of it, I guess. I don't get it. If they don't want to answer/ask questions, I don't want to meet. What exactly are they on there for? I'm so confused. Probably ego first? You hung in way too long. She was boring and nothing you could do to make her seem interesting. Moving on. Yeah. When I was on dating apps, a huge piece of my criteria for how much of my time I would spend on someone was how well they would keep a conversation going. If I ask 2 or 3 questions, they are responding bland and don't ask anything about me, I move on. If you have to spend the first 3 minutes of a conversation begging for some kind of acknowledgement or engagement, being in a relationship with them likely isn't going to be better. But you know, what I hate the most is small talk. If somebody just slides into my DM and is like, "Hi, how you doing? Great, how was your day?" I am done with that conversation. I am so done with that conversation. Not that that happened here, but boy, no. Leave me alone. Not like my day will change suddenly. And it's not like they actually want to hear the answer to that question. Okay, I'm curious if Germans are good at integration when they immigrate to other countries. No. No. Question answered. Went from MOH to blocked in 6 months. MOH? Because I wasn't supposed to answer the question. What? Listener right in. Ah, too hot take. Okay. What is MOH? Maid of honor. Okay. Let's see. Hey sweets, this isn't easy for me and I have to put in a lot of thoughts and feelings into this decision, but I feel I'm being unfair to you and unfair to myself asking so much of you when you've got so much going on in your life. I think I need to make some changes to the maid of honor position. It's not because I don't want you as my maid of honor, I do want that, and I of course still want you in my bridal party and I want you to be there with me. You're my best friend in the entire world, but it is feeling very clear that this is not an obligation you have time or space for, and I think maybe taking a step back would be best for both of us. Should I read the introduction first and then the text messages? It's always the text messages first and say pop up first. So, I don't know. I also wanted to add, just in case that if being in the bridal party is too much at this time in your life and you don't want to be part of it at all, I will understand. I know this may come as a shock, but it's something I've been thinking about a lot and I feel like it needs to be done. Okay, there's too much setup for basically being like, yo, you seem to not be all there for me, so fuck off. I also want to make it clear that I am doing this to preserve our friendship. I know we already talked about this a little on the phone and maybe this feels like it coming out of nowhere for you, but it's not for me, and right now I just need to honor and validate my feelings. I understand you may have a lot of feelings and I'd be open to talking about this more in depth maybe in the future, but at this time I'm not. I want to do what's best for our friendship, and I know right now I would be a difficult time for me to have productive conversation. Thank you for understanding and I appreciate and love you very much. I appreciate you bringing this up because it's been on my mind for a bit, but I've been hesitant on bringing it up Let's talk about it after the holiday weekend at some point. I want to emphasize for your peace of mind that I'm not mad and I'm in agreement that is for the best. I love you so much. Oh, damn it. Why does she always write so much? I'm sorry it's taking me so long to reply. It's Friday and that's today. Whatever today is. I just needed something to identify and process. Sometime. Process my feelings about your response. For starters, I'm glad you're not mad. However, it's quite unfortunate that you don't seem to feel any remorse or guilt for the situation. I'm sad that you didn't have enough respect for me or my feelings to have brought it up yourself, and instead I had to agonize over it for months before finally reaching a point where I felt the need to do this. Understand you're non-confrontational, but we are adults, and at some point you need to realize that your personal comfort comes at a cost to others. I would have far rather you be honest with me from the start or at literally any point and communicated that you didn't have time or space to give me the support I deserve for literally the most important day of my life. God is spiraling. I don't know what gave you the idea that my wedding is anything other than just that. The most important event of my life. You're not the only person who has outside obligations or other important things going on in their life, but you are the only person who has made me question the validity of our friendship. I do not love you, Sarah. Very, very much. I do love you. Oh, sorry. But at this point, I'm not convinced that you love or care about me. I'm struggling to process that reality right now. Holy fuck. Yeah. Is that just... No. Hi, sorry, I understand this seems sudden, and I don't care that it is because who you have been acting. How you have been acting? Is honestly... Huh? And I don't care that it is because who you have been acting like. Is honestly sudden. No. Still, no. I'm just sorry no one, including myself, told you sooner. I've been thinking about this a lot. I just wanted to let you know that you just a really good friend, and based on your pattern of behavior, likely even too blank like you, has been through hardship where they may not feel like the most important person in the world. Blank on their day wanted to feel like that person, however, they did not demand that. They just feel that they feel as special as you did. What you do not understand about healthy relationships is that no one can read another person's mind. If B failed you, you did not communicate that and cannot read your mind. Blank felt troubled, communicated that, and you, in response, said they always played the victim and weaponized their dying mother, which you told B nor I about that. You have fallen short of your expectations and thus have weaponized things you have not communicated, aka your mom. You blocked on Insta because apparently they did not understand. Blank. Okay, there's blank again. These sentences. Oh my god. I really do not give a shit who is wrong and who is right. In some ways, in another way, I expect my friend to act with integrity, not only as that is a basic ask, but it is simply a basic thing to do for friendship. You never communicated your side of the story and expected B to show up for it during a vulnerable time, which is an act of cowardice as far as I'm concerned. I lost my mother at a much younger age due to cancer, so I do understand some pains you will never understand and never understand pains you experience. But to not try to preserve a valuable friendship in your own fear of losing what you think is everything is an act of, again, cowardice on your part. Okay, I think that's the other friend. I understand you value my friendship in part because I'm confrontational, but I also understand you are someone who clings onto a primitive form of status like cling wrap because you are deeply insecure and low-key sad when you don't have your mum, which was inevitable because, by the way, because all people die. Who else do you have? Okay. What is going on? You have yourself and who else? I know you've built a life, but to reject everyone else before because you fell short one time or whatever is going on is high-key pathetic. I fall short all the time, mainly because I had this card dealt earlier, but I also work to show up even when I feel I've fallen short. I know I've fallen short of standards, but I work to try again instead of previous shortcomings to find my future relationship. I validate myself and know my future relationships are worth the pain of my present shortcomings. Stop writing about yourself. Why are you making everything about yourself? This is about your friendship with another person and their friendship with your friend. This is frustrating. Okay, owning up to them and apologizing and showing up in ways I can has done more for our relationship than maybe you have even realized. Although you have acknowledged that I have been the reason we stay in communication purely because I reach out. I literally don't care if you block me because I know you don't really give a shit because you were 3 minutes away from me when blank was getting engaged and didn't even notify me for coffee. I noticed because I decided to text you that day because I value our relationship, even if not a special day, but you knew you were headed in my direction and didn't even bother to text me, where you would have noticed my location and noticed I was legit a 3-minute walk away. Okay. And also, like, it's sad for you to lose not only one but two good friends. You do not sound like a good friend. Again, I know you have plenty, but I don't have as many friends. So I feel very sad and I'm mad that you made me choose by reacting to the situation with bullshit instead of with love in your heart. Oh, this goes on. How much longer? Okay, of course, I wish you and your family, including the cats, all the best. No ill harm, just someone had to tell you from a third party what an absolute moron you are, which is my job. However, genuine apologies are always accepted on my end, no matter how far down the line they are. Yes, if you want to talk, valid, but if you don't, I cannot even understand how you look at yourself in the mirror because I have stood up for you when you are not looking. Ask blank. Remember when you first moved in, by going to and enjoying your family home. Remember what a nice thing it was, which is the bare minimum. In maintaining a relationship you put no effort into. Sad. Maybe I should have let it go to avoid this pain. I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you, and unfortunately it's me. Yeah. So, first of all, friend number 2. If somebody doesn't bother to reach out, they are not interested in the relationship, let it go. That you are now salty about the other person not doing anything for you is on you. Okay, whatever. Oh my god, it continues. Also, for one more mention, I think it's so fucking pathetic and lame that you weaponize your dying mom over the shit. Like, moms die like you don't fucking understand until you have no one to call and you have to go through life without having a mom to call. It's a sad, 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 deplorable existence and I've had to live 21 years with it and it's just so fucking pathetic and sad that you would weaponize that when, like I said, last she was going to take shots with us. If I had the privilege of still having a mother, I would fucking act like it instead of acting like a deer in headlights. What is this? I won't ever have a mom at anything, yet I've never pointed out that privilege to you until right now because you acted on betraying a childhood friend over it. If Lorraine, I'm assuming doesn't know the full story. Okay, there is a cover-up missing. So hopefully you can convey it to her accurately instead of behaving like a coward. I'm sorry. I'm just so mad because you act like no one else gets it. I just get so sick of people like you who don't really have the gall to look in the mirror and try to be the best person they can be, especially when life is getting difficult, because that's when you need people, good people, the most. OP just lost their mother and asked or not asked for some time for themselves and not having too much pressure on them, and now everybody's just piling on them. What the fuck? High key, you're not special because your mom is dying, just like I'm not special because my parents are dead. Welcome to the real world. Okay, she's dying, she's not dead yet. Okay, sorry. Okay, hello, long time follower. Not mine. I just never thought I would have something happen in my life to be interesting enough to share on here. So for my background, I 27 female, have known V 27 non-binary for over 10 years and said 27 female for 7 years. I considered them both my best friends for a period of time. V was my maid of honor and said was a bridesmaid in my October 2025 wedding. V and Seth met at my bachelorette trip and became best friends, and now Seth is a bridesmaid in V's wedding. V's wedding is in December in an area where I would need to fly to, as we had long distance friendship since we went to college in different states. V told me I was their maid of honor and I was happy to take on the duty. Back in December, one of the other bridesmaids, let's call her T, sent a text to the group chat to ask what dates and locations for the bachelorette party would work for everybody. V responded first by saying where they wanted their party and that mid-October works best for them. I responded shortly after, saying that mid-October is difficult for me since I'm in my PhD program and this is around when my midterms are, and there was a possibility of me defending around that time. I asked if late September was possible and V said no, it has to be October. I said okay, October it is. I get a text from Z saying I should have just gone with what V wanted, and I just said if it would be possible. I wasn't trying to demand anything. I was under the impression that when asked what dates and locations worked for me, that I was supposed to answer. True. I had a phone call with V that night because they said they wanted to explain why it had to be October for the batch party. I agreed, but I didn't really think it needed to be explained. If it had to be October, then October it would be. The phone call turned into 10 minutes of me getting yelled at for pushing too hard. I had also suggested Labor Day weekend on the date, how I had the audacity to expect them to go on their batch trip the first week of the semester. They never told me they were going back to school, and how I don't understand the weather pattern of the area they wanted their trip, since late September would be too warm. They also mentioned that they made sure I got everything I wanted for my bachelorette trip. Side note, I wanted to go to Vermont, but the location changed to make it easier for V to attend. Also, my other bridesmaids said they never responded to most texts or contributed to the planning. I apologized and said that I never wanted to push, but I thought we were trying to find a date that worked for everyone. They then told me that they asked T to send that text message to make it clear that V got what they wanted and I wasn't supposed to answer the question. I apologized again, but the subject changed and I thought we were fine. 6 months later, I am answering texts pertaining to the wedding and expressing excitement over the wedding, albeit with a sour feeling in my stomach after the phone call. I admit I took a step back from the batch party planning because V made it clear that I didn't know what they wanted and T knew what they wanted. I was also getting concerned about the cost of the batch party, since I would need to purchase a plane ticket, contribute to the Airbnb, and also afford the activities, one of which was making our own dried flower bouquets for the wedding, which we wouldn't need to pay for. Side note, who the fuck pays the bride's flowers? True. The Airbnb got booked and no one had actually told me the date until I saw the Airbnb confirmation. I called Seth to ask if there was a conversation about the batch party date that I had missed, and she said no. That we all agreed on an, I quote, mid-October. No actual dates were discussed. I thought it was weird, but went along with it. Last month, I get a text from V saying that they wanted to make changes to the maid of honor position and that they didn't feel like I had the time or space to perform my duties of the role. I responded that I agreed that's for the best and I'm not mad, but I'd be open to talk about it over the phone when they feel ready. V responded that they're glad I'm not mad, but it's quite unfortunate that you don't seem to feel any remorse or guilt for the situation, and that I wasn't supportive enough. That's the TLDR, the actual texts are attached. I asked V that night. They made it clear they didn't feel supported by me, and I should feel more guilty for what I've done, and asked for clarification on what they wanted from me in terms of support, and they said I always was indifferent about the wedding, and this entire wedding was about my personal comfort with how I tried to dictate things for their batch party. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. They definitely grew apart, and now just thought, hey, let's try one last thing, and then they just soured on the idea. How long is this? My voice is already dying, okay. And I need to learn to be uncomfortable for someone else's big day. I never disclosed to them about the other things going on in my life. My mom's chemo stopped working, so that's been a thrilling thing on top of grad school. So that came up in the conversation. I know, I should have said something sooner, but neither of them text me and didn't have the bandwidth to reach out to people who don't reach out to me. And I didn't, yeah. I also thought I could handle my duties in helping out with the batch party. No other duties were disclosed to me. Yeah. She literally said during the planning phase about, hey, can we maybe push that to September? Because she had to defend for a PhD, possibly in October. So she wanted to keep it free, and then the bride, I guess. What is non-binary bride? The spouse to be was like, yeah, but I want it in October because everything else. Yes. This is convoluted. Okay, TLDR. I answered a question about batch party scheduling, got yelled at for answering it, spent months unknowingly becoming the villain in my best friend's wedding story, got demoted from maid of honor, then was accused of weaponizing my dying mother's hospice care by my other friend. I'm no longer friends with either of them. Yeah. Oh, for sure. The wedding party was just ZT and I. There were no other people in the party that were associated with this. Well, I wasn't expecting this to blow up as much as it did. Thank you so much for your support. I'm not gonna read all that, but sounds like you're better off without them. Let's be honest. Pitch trope, nerdy character who don't understand nerdy things. You can be a nerd in a niche topic and not understand other niche nerdy topics. Like, okay, this is a D&D lookalike, so I guess it is expected that they know what to do, but if it's your first round D&D, you need someone to explain it to you. was that? What was... I don't understand. There was another one about fat character that's not actually fat being a hated trope. And it showed anime girls that are just normal size. Normal anime girl size. Like, okay. Cool. I don't understand the context of this one, but sure. Like, I understand it in the context of 2000s not sitcoms, but series like, I don't know, oh, what's it called? Wicked? No. Thinking something else. It's three sisters that are witches. I don't know. And one of them was built a bit wider. She wasn't heavier than any of the others, but she had just a wider build, so she was dedicated as the fat friend or fat sister. Like, what the fuck can people... Yeah, she is not fat. But, yeah, I don't know. Chopped onions. Sous chef got a wrong order, and what can we actually use this for? French soup? What's something Germans say that sounds rude in translation but isn't actually rude? What? I'm learning German as my Gen Z niece told me to. Memorize, Practica, a teacher, and italki, and I keep noticing that literal translations of ordinary phrases are like almost aggressive in English. Take, was willst du? Word for word becomes, what do you want? That sounds confrontational in English. And in German, it's a neutral way to ask what someone needs. Oh, no, it depends on pronunciation. Was willst du? Has many different meanings. Pronunciation is key. Germans also skip the could you please that English speakers add to requests. I suspect half the Germans are rude stereotype comes from English speakers hearing the literal translation and make it harsher than it is meant to be. Are there other phrases like this where the German is ordinary and the English version sounds harsh? Was möchtest du? Yeah, möchtest du is definitely more neutral than willst. Willst is definitely more confrontational. Learning German with Pam. It's also confrontational, unless you choose your intonation very carefully. Yeah. One way to make it much more friendly sounding is adding na. Yeah, true. When you order food together, ich nehme cheeseburger, was willst du? Completely normal. Yeah, but it's in context, and it's the intonation, as someone else said. Nobody's answering the question. I'm used to a dad asking a child, was möchtest du? To me, what do you want does not sound significantly more or less confrontational than was willst du. Both depend on a lot on context and intonation, but can easily be on the abrasive or aggressive side. The polite version would be was möchtest du. Okay, Germans also use bitte, please, and subjunctive to indicate polite. Additionally, the accepted level of directness depends on a lot on the social context. Okay, nobody's answering that question. Same group. Friend group 40 years apart. Aww, sweet. But one is missing. one is missing. Oh, my dog went viral for having an abortion. Someone found her on TikTok to tell her this. Your dog should just die, bitch. Fuck you. Wow. Wow. What is it with men and some women not allowing women the autonomy to decide over their own fucking body? If they want a foreign being growing inside of them, should be their decision and only their own and nobody else's. And if you're gonna come with, but that's a life growing inside of you. No, it is a clump of cells that will eventually form a human being, yes, but it is not human at conception. Ah. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance I won't split our wedding costs evenly since his family invited 3 times more guests than mine? Oof. Oof. You are the asshole for not discussing finances beforehand. No matter the situation. Unknown calls. Indian Mike Hotel Echo Romeo Echo Whiskey India Tango Hotel Yankee Oscar for uniform India Mike Hotel Echo Romeo Echo Whiskey India Tango Hotel Yankee. Is somebody trying to use... I've been getting quite a few calls from unknown callers for a while now. 8 to 12 months, and I'm not sure what to do. Just ignore them! It's always been this odd phonetic alphabet spelling things out, but it's never been coherent until tonight when I got a call from them. I freaked out and grabbed my iPad to record, but as soon as I answered, the call ended. Sorry, they still managed to make a voicemail. I have no clue how they've done that. I'm not amazing at the phonetic alphabet, but I'm 99% sure they tried to spell out, I'm here with you, I'm here with you. But then it cuts off. Another time they spelled out, I'm at Yammervinch, but there are some words that I couldn't make out. I'm thinking about going to the police about it, but I really don't know what to do at the moment. And it might be good to mention I've changed my phone number since the first call back in December. Update? Turns out it was this girl who's always hated me, at least for the first call. No clue about the second one still. I'm here with you if you actually converted to the appropriate letters and dropped the 4, which seems like a typo. I'm here with you. Yeah. Interline, moist and tender, yellow, almond marked, restless, weary, ill, dreary gender. I'm at Yambr. Comes out to I'm at your window. Pretty freaky shit there. Oh, the recording is somewhere? The recording is somewhere? Where? Where? Okay.
India Mike Hotel Echo Romeo Echo Whiskey India Tango Hotel Yankee Oscar Uniform. India Mike Hotel Echo Romeo Echo Whiskey India Tango Hotel Yankee Oscar Uniform.
Okay. But if they changed their number in between, how did this girl that hated them get the new number as well? Customer told me my cupcakes were thick. They look AI generated. They look pretty, but this looks AI generated. I know you can make flowery looking pipings for sure, but what at least this cake is true. Guy on Facebook talking down on everyone who comments on a pic he posted. Is it AI? Something is bothering me about his pants. The rest looks quite realistic. But is he at a public pool right now? Otherwise, I wouldn't understand why there would be random warnings and stuff. Okay, let's see. The comments are always quite the detective. Words from the sign person the chair was also kind of cold. Person the chair was also kind of cold. Like that. Okay. I guess. Can't say for certain, but that is what is throwing me off is that head by the pool. Looks like a handrail to get out of the pool, but there is only one. His arm is in the way. You can see the beginning of it. Now that's fine. The angle is a bit weird. I don't know. Do I have anything else? Friend gave me my info to a random girl even though I told him weeks earlier I didn't want to, nor had any intention on going to homecoming. How would you split this friend? Am I overreacting considering a credit card dispute charge over my dog's hair? What? How long do you take to reroll? Ah, hold us good. Hold. I found a bag of I don't want to look at that. Homemade gift paid to gift. I have never known a love like this. It's a cute, minimalistic, abstract painting. Why wouldn't it be? Hey, you maybe do something about the back. Oof. Abstract shaped pink and yellow stuffed object with embroidery details attached to a Barbie. It's a shell phone. Clearly, a shell phone. Why is this green? I have this Barbie photo from the early 2000s. I've never been able to figure out what the thing attached to it is supposed to represent. For the longest time I thought it was a microphone, but I'm not sure. The shape is abstract with pink and yellow material, the same used for the flower and hair on the Barbie. The thing that throws me off is the little grey dots and pink spiral embroidery on the shape. Yeah, it looks like a seashell. Abby's got a flower in her hair, which is giving a Hawaiian island vibe, so shell. The swirl reminds me of the cable for landline phones, or maybe the shell is also meant to be one and would tie in with holding bunches up your ear to hear the ocean. Shell phone. Nah. Scratch the A. The shell phone. There's droplets below that, so maybe. So, thank you all for the good guesses. Seriously, how did you not think of that before? Okay, but whatever. What's with these warped fingers? God, your entire hand is off kilter. If that was your intention, sure, fine, but everything is just going to the right. I've wanted insane two artists. Right. Nah. Moncasso. AI. Found out why my parents are divorced after 16 years. They never told you? Yay. Pull up on the thick cupcakes. Ah. Not interested. Bookshelves or the guy that I'm seeing right now, currently looking in a mirror. What do you have? Paris. That's good taste. So organized though. Are you bragging, girl? Yeah. I just feel like you're not allowed to touch any of that. Especially since those are the prettier versions of some of the books. But yeah, I think I've seen enough for today. Ooh, nothing of interest really. I don't know. I guess I need a new playground. Look for interesting stories. I got my rant about politics out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of some random story. So I guess I'm content with what I achieved. But yeah, I don't know. Reddit is a weird place for sure. And what people are willing to share online is crazy to me. Like, yeah, I tend to overshare as well. But I do it to a way less big crowd than these people do. And sure, not every post gets viewed by thousands of people, but alright. Then again, most at least try to reach that. They want their 5 seconds of fame. I know it's 15, but I feel like today it's probably more so 5. If at all. I don't understand that need. I'm content with my life. I don't need to be famous. I don't even want to be famous. It sounds like such a pain. To be absolutely honest. If you can't leave your house without getting recognized. Or not having any privacy anymore. No matter what you do, people judge you, view what you do. Nah. No thank you. Absolutely not needed. Alright. My tired ass is now going to go to bed. As always, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.